Deep in the heart of whispering woods, where sunbeams danced on the forest floor and flowers whispered secrets to the wind, lived a baby badger named Benny. Benny was a bundle of fluffy, black and white fur with a little twitching nose and the brightest, most curious eyes you've ever seen. But the thing Benny loved most in the whole wide world was chasing butterflies or nibbling on sweet berries. No, Benny loved to dig. His little paws, tipped with sturdy claws, were perfect for scooping away the soft, dark earth. He would wiggle his bottom, push with his strong back legs, and disappear into the ground, leaving behind a neat little pile of soil. To Benny, the world beneath the forest was a secret, magical kingdom waiting to be explored. He dug short tunnels, long tunnels, curvy tunnels, and straight tunnels. He'd pop his head up here, then vanish, only to pop up again behind a giant oak tree, giggling with delight. It was the best game ever. One bright sunny morning, after a breakfast of juicy earthworms and sweet clover, Benny felt a surge of energy. Today, he declared to a sleepy ladybug on a leaf, "I'm going to dig the bestest, longest, most magnificent tunnel ever." And with a determined wiggle of his tail, he started to dig. He dug past the roots of the old pine tree, which tickled his back as he went by. He dug under a patch of yummy wild mushrooms, their earthy smell filling his nose. He kept digging and digging, the soil cool and soft against his fur. He was so focused, so excited, that he didn't even notice how much time was passing. The sun climbed higher in the sky, and still, Benny dug. His tunnel twisted and turned, a secret pathway known only to him. He imagined it was a grand highway, a secret passage to a treasure, or a roller coaster ride under the ground. Finally, covered in dirt but bursting with pride, Benny reached the end. He turned around and looked back. Wow, it was long, so long, he couldn't even see the entrance anymore. He felt a thrill of excitement. "It's all mine," he squeaked happily, "my very own super-duper tunnel." He couldn't wait to try it out. He took a deep breath and started to run. He zoomed through the darkness. The feeling of the smooth, packed earth on his paws was wonderful. He pretended he was a speedy train, choo-chooing through the underground. He was so happy, so proud of what he had made all by himself. When he popped out at the other end, blinking in the sunlight, he felt like the king of the forest. He decided to run back through it again, this time even faster. Just as he was about to dive back into his amazing tunnel, he heard familiar voices. "Benny, Benny, what are you doing?" It was his best friends, Tilly the hedgehog and Max the mouse. Tilly, with her neat little prickles and gentle smile, and Max, with his big ears and twitching whiskers, came scampering over. "Wow, Benny," squeaked Max, peering into the dark opening. "Did you dig this? It looks amazing." Tilly nodded, her eyes wide with wonder. "It's so long. Can we play in it with you? It looks like so much fun." Suddenly, a strange feeling washed over Benny. He looked at his beautiful, perfect tunnel, his tunnel, the one he had worked so hard on, all by himself. He didn't want anyone else messing it up. He wanted it to be his, and only his. "No," he said, his voice a little grumpy, and to make sure they understood, he pushed a big pile of dirt and leaves in front of the entrance, blocking it completely. "This is my tunnel. I made it for me. You can't come in." Tilly and Max stood there, completely surprised. Their happy, excited faces fell. Max's whiskers drooped, and Tilly shuffled her little feet in the dirt. "Oh," whispered Tilly, looking very sad. We thought it would be fun to play together." Max didn't say anything. He just looked down at the ground. His tiny shoulders slumped. They looked so disappointed, so lonely. They turned and slowly walked away, their cheerful chatter replaced by a sad silence. Benny stood by his blocked tunnel, his chest puffed out. "Hey, Emph, it's my tunnel," he told himself. He turned to go back inside, ready to have more fun all by himself. He pushed aside the dirt and ran through it again. But this time, something was different. It didn't feel as exciting. The darkness felt a little empty. His choo-choo sounds echoed back at him, but there was no one there to hear them. He popped out the other end, but there was no one there to cheer for his super speed. The forest suddenly felt very, very quiet. He sat down by a mossy rock and thought about the sad faces of his friends. He remembered all the fun times they had together. They'd roll down hills, splashing in puddles, and share the juiciest berries. Playing together was always more fun than playing alone. A big feeling of regret started to bubble up inside him. His magnificent tunnel didn't feel so magnificent anymore. It just felt lonely. What good was the best tunnel in the world if you had no one to share it with? Benny knew what he had to do. He scampered back to the entrance as fast as his little legs could carry him. With his paws, he quickly cleared away the pile of dirt and leaves he had made. The entrance was open again, wide and inviting. Then, he took a deep breath and called out, "Tilly, Max, wait!" He saw his friends sitting under a fern, looking glum. They looked up as he ran toward them. "I'm sorry," Benny said, his voice soft and sincere. "I was being selfish. My tunnel isn't any fun without my best friends. Please, will you come and play with me in it?" Tilly's face brightened instantly, and a huge smile spread across her face. Max's whiskers perked right up. "Really?" he squeaked. "You mean it?" Benny nodded enthusiastically. "Of course. A super-duper tunnel is much more super-duper with friends." Max and Tilly cheered. They raced Benny back to the tunnel entrance. "You go first, Benny," said Tilly. "It's your tunnel, after all." "No," Benny said with a smile. "Let's all go together." So, side by side, the three friends squeezed into the tunnel. Tilly had to be careful with her prickles, but they all fit. They giggled as they shuffled through the darkness together. "This is like a secret mission," whispered Max. "Let's pretend we're explorers discovering a new world." Benny shouted, his voice echoing happily. They spent the rest of the afternoon playing in the tunnel. They played hide and seek, popping up in different spots to surprise each other. They made train noises, a long chain of friends chugging through the underground. Benny even showed them the best part, where the tunnel went under the roots of the old pine tree. They worked together to make the tunnel even longer, digging side by side. It was a team effort, and it was the most fun Benny had ever had. As the sun began to set, casting long, golden shadows through the woods, the three friends sat together at the tunnel entrance, tired but happy. They were all covered in dirt, and their tummies were rumbling, but their hearts were full. Benny looked at his friends, their faces lit with joy, and he felt a warmth spread through him that was better than any pride he had felt before. He had learned something very important that day. A tunnel, no matter how magnificent, is just a hole in the ground. But a tunnel filled with friends and laughter, that was the greatest treasure in the whole wide world. And from that day on, Benny's tunnel was known as the best place to play in all of Whispering Woods. Not because it was long or twisty, but because it was always open for everyone. Thank you for watching our story today. If you loved Benny's adventure, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more wonderful stories from the heart of the woods. We'll see you next time.